Buttons is still away. And here I must stay and watch Bill Maher connect on an interpersonal level with Billy Corgan. I'm sure they're going to give us lots of stuff to tear into, so you know what? This is an hour and a half, so let's just dig right into it. I don't want to waste any more time.
Bill,
Here I am in your house again.
how are you?
Hi, Bill. You looking trim, Bill.
I actually never changed, but
I know, you
Thank
look like you lost weight.
I did not.
Really?
I'm
Oh,
telling you,
it's just my memory.
people, if I kept losing all the weight people say I keep losing, I'd be like 100 pounds.
Well, we're off to a great fucking start. They're just talking about their fucking weight.
The older, I mean, it's paradoxical, but I really feel like the older I get in some ways, of course, not every way.
The more lame you get.
I'm healthier. I mean, I get way less like colds and flu. I used to get that every year
Okay,
because
that's
I
fair.
drank more.
Yeah.
I ate shit food.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
get
fair.
proper rest. You know,
Yeah, he's right.
you take better care of yourself, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Because we occasionally share the same makeup people.
You and I.
Well, because our production worlds cross occasionally. You don't know this. I'm just telling you now.
I don't know. We do, really we do.
Occasionally.
Ugh, everything is wrong. Bill Maher has the worst vibe. Billy Corgan is taking the conversation in the wrong direction. Everyone is in the wrong here.
It's really what you put in your body. I mean,
Here we go
I was
again.
ranting about Kennedy last week. He finally went too
RFK.
far with me, and I was so wanting to be with him for his quest to relook at how we just in the macro look at health in America, and I think he's right about so many things, and certainly one of them would be
Getting rid of mRNA vaccines available to the public. I think he wants to ban those from public consumption.
I mentioned this on the show. I never had a Western doctor, no matter what was wrong with me, ever said to me, and what do you eat?
Right.
As if that shouldn't be like number one on the questionnaire about whatever's going wrong with you, that's going to have some input into it.
How can it not?
And how could it not? But that's just not on the chart of
I mean, isn't it called interior medicine? Internal medicine?
Western medicine, maybe more now. So I was hopeful that he would that kind of thinking and not the crazy part, but the crazy part, he couldn't resist. And so,
Yeah. We're in crazy time part.
Well, look, I might drink a little more than usual today because, I mean, I don't know when this is airing, but this is a shit day because a guy who sat there, Charlie Kirk, got shot today.
Yeah.
And I can't stop thinking about it. And
Neither can I.
And we shouldn't. And if you're on the other side of the political divide and you don't care because the wrong team guy got shot, fuck you.
How long are they going to talk about Charlie Kirk for? Ugh, this is already out of date, so I don't want to listen to out-of-date news because this particular story, the news on the ground is fast-moving, right? It's ever-changing. The truth, as we understand it, is very fragile and delicate with regards to this, well, in general, but with regards to this particular news story. So I'm going to skip the Charlie Kirk part because I don't think it's relevant to my commentary on what they have to say. I don't want to talk about the Charlie Kirk stuff on the show.
Human decency. In essence, if you can separate a human from their own decency, well, there's a lot of money to be made. Porn is a perfect.
That's true.
Point being is that next time you're watching porn is a thought experiment if you'd like to try this, okay?
Sure.
I'm going to assume for the sake of this thought experiment that
Hey, when I have my dick in my hand, I'm all about the thought experiments.
Okay. And I'm not saying you like young women, Bill, but let's say you're watching okay.
Again, no shame there. I'm not shamed at that either.
Okay, so you're watching a young woman in flagrante. And she...
I don't watch Italian porn. No, I'm kidding. In flagrante, yes. You're so erudite, Bill. It's what I love about you. You
God
are.
bless, Bill.
You're very erudite.
So you're watching
God.
porn with a young woman, and doesn't matter what's happening. It's just she's involved on some level.
On some level, I fucking hope so. If not, it's gay porn.
In Billy's thought experiment, okay, stop
Yes.
for a moment if you can.
Yes.
If you're not so.
It's impossible, Billy. He can't stop himself. He loves talking over people, which is going to be... This conversation is going to be very hard because we have two egomaniacs who just want to talk over each other and control the direction of the conversation.
So
right?
caught up in passion.
I'm so into this now. I want to hear this so badly.
Stop and think that that's somebody's daughter.
That's so funny. Do I know this person? In other words, is it a person I know and it's their daughter?
No, I'm saying
Okay, then I'm good.
Oh
And
my
maybe
God.
even if I do, I don't know. But that's sorry about the spit take, but not
That was
my
funny.
first one here. Is that really what's going through your mind?
Yes.
But what? How does me, a world away,
Bro, Billy Corgan is so Tim Pool's father.
in front of a computer with my dick in my hand, how does this affect the daughter in any way? And by the way, why is it such a horrible?
Because my point was, it requires a level of disassociation. In essence, you have to, on some level, disassociate that this is a human being who may or may not be in that position for all the wrong reasons.
He's right. I mean, you have to be pretty dense to not understand his point.
Maybe it's all the right reasons. I'm friends with a very famous porn star who did it purposely, intentionally, and is not damaged by it.
Right.
And
I
is
know porn
totally fine with it.
Yes, porn stars are nymphomaniacs.
Generally speaking,
Yeah, but a lot of people choose that line of work because in their minds it's the best option. A lot of people need the money. It just comes down to basic human needs.
Generally speaking, they really like sex and like to do it a lot. I mean, it's not.
But by that classification, then you're a porn star.
I could have been. I may have missed.
No. You make hate porn. Your television show, much like Piers Morgan Uncensored, is a circus of hate porn.
My calling.
using
I've thought of
metaphors.
that
You
many
got
times.
the frame for it.
Well,
Oh, he's being literal. What I think he should have used it as a metaphor, personally.
let's not tip our mitt too much. But
I mean, I've heard from women it's usually the
Yeah.
skinny guys that are packing the Sinatra heat.
okay, it's just unseemly to ever talk about your dick. So I'm not going to start.
But is this the first time you've ever talked about your penis on your show?
No, but
In fact-
one of my ex-girlfriends once talked about it on Howard Stern.
Really?
Yes, and I loved it because she blew his mind.
Okay, good. I have to find that clip.
Yeah,
later.
you'll have to find that clip. Anyway, first of all, I don't think porn necessarily is something that is harmful to the people who are doing it, as they say.
I mean, involved in the actual.
What I'm amazed when I do go on Pornhub to find is that it seems like there is a literally inexhaustible number of women who are doing it. It looks, if you just go on Pornhub and keep scrolling and scrolling, it looks like
That's because there aren't many other available jobs in which the people who are choosing to do porn can make more money per hour. It has to do with Occam's razor, the path of least resistance, mixed in with the fact that there are far less jobs and automation's taking over. So I think there's two phenomenons going on at once.
every woman in
Ever.
America under 35 years old is doing porn.
Well,
I mean, it is just a lot.
I don't know if this is accurate, but this is like sort of anecdotal. I heard somebody talking recently. They were saying with the numbers on OnlyFans that they estimate that 1.4% of the population of the United States is now doing porn. Doing porn.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and when you
It's
Look, if you
become
parse that
become far more normalized since COVID, especially. Really ramped up sex work as a normal, sort of like mainstream way to make money. You know, accepted within the Overton window of normal society. And I actually happen to think there is upside to that. Of course, I'm not anti-sex work. I'm pro-sex work. There are positive and negative externalities to everything that have to be considered. But
down to like what percentage of the population, okay, half of them are not women, so
I'll say it this way. This is where we're at, considering we live in the age of social media before we are completely taken over by automated AI as the main central mechanism that controls the society that we live in.
yes, there are some male porn stars. And by the way, kudos to them, because like a male porn star, what a brilliant idea. A guy who says, you know what, they're going to make porn and they're going to need a real
Somebody.
dick. They're going to need somebody's dick to get sucked all day long by hot chicks. I could do that job. I mean, I must say, there is a part of me that says, wow, I wish I had that kind of confidence. But anyway.
Sure.
Well, it's like it's a short step from there to comedy. You see.
Well, it's all performance.
Yeah. The problem is, the people who watch it do get addicted. There is a real
Okay, good.
issue here.
So we're going the right way. At least
there is
Also, it's so obvious, but you got to mention just the basic supply and demand economics aspect of the fact that so many people are willing to buy this stuff on OnlyFans. There's a high demand for it. So it's just the supply and the demand just meeting each other at its optimum point. And this is due to the era that we live in. Like I said, this sort of like age of social media right before AI takes over.
definitely an issue.
Crushes us all.
Always been
Crushes
on the
us
page, at least
like
of the
bugs.
Look, I never even saw it on the computer until about, I would say, 5 or 6 years ago. I was a guy who grew up with magazines, and I was afraid to look at it because I was like, oh, what if they get a cookie in here, and what if they know what I'm doing, and what if they're really actually involving food? I just don't understand. Or
we're back to fucking food?
wigs, or fucking I'm a pirate and you're a schoolgirl. You know, no, I just don't. I mean, if you just fuck. You know, just,
okay. I do completely agree with that point. Totally agree. Just fuck. But also to each their own. Like I get that some people like storylines in porn, and they like role play.
Learn how to fuck right, and there's enough enjoyment in that. There you go, kids.
I agree.
Advice from Bill. But you're not wrong that porn is not a harmless.
It's not a pro-social tool. Correct. It's not pro-social. It's anti-social.
Endeavor.
Right. That's kind of my point. If you don't have a judgmental thing, which I don't have a judgmental thing, it's like,
but I don't think
let's be transparent about it.
But it's a vice, just like anything else. It's a vice like weed. It's a vice like eating McDonald's, you know? I don't think it's a binary issue of you should do it, you shouldn't do it. It really did. I know this is like a really vague, Libra-ass, centrist-ass, milquetoast-ass way to express this, but it's all about balance, man. And each individual is different, and it's going to be different for each individual. What you know, I think for jerking off and I guess if you need porn, a good rule of thumb is don't jerk off until like late at night. You don't want to make a habit of jerking off in the first 12 to 13 hours of the day. Keep it to the end. I think that's a good rule of thumb for generally speaking. But like I said, everyone's different.
Being exploited terribly much. They want to do it. I'm sure they could and should pay them more.
Well, the dark side of porn is there's a lot of prostitution that goes on around the edges
and human trafficking and exploitation and
make the money.
Well, as someone once pointed out,
it's a very nuanced issue.
If
Many
you
layers.
fuck somebody and they give you money, you're a prostitute and you get arrested. But if they fuck somebody and they give you money, but there was a camera there, you're a porn star.
I see. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little weird that just because there's a camera there, that makes it legal.
It also depends if you are both partners. You have a partnership in porn and you're profiting from the product that you are making together. So I think they're just kind of like having this vague ass conversation, just sort of rounding out the outsides, not getting into the weeds or the nuances of any of the shite.
All right. You know, the prostitution.
They're on the margins.
I don't really have an opinion. I'm sort of gotten bored with the whole libertarian movement. At some point, it seems to not live in reality.
Yeah,
but generally speaking, I believe in a free society.
Well, excuse me, but not thinking that a lot of people can't get sex and would benefit from paying to get it, that's not living in reality. The reality is most people
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Are sexually stifled, frustrated,
They need their pipes drained, so to speak. And if they had their pipes drained, this is the argument he's making, then they would be more level-headed, less violent, more productive members of society, more pro-social. You got to regulate the whole thing.
And there's something called a sex surrogate, which again, funny.
I think I talked to one once. I feel like I have a memory about talking to someone.
Well, I mean, and again, if you just rephrased it, it's a prostitute. It's someone who's helping you come.
No, her whole take was like she goes in and helps the couple and.
Okay, that's not a sex surrogate. That sounds like a therapist. But
she would have sex with the people.
Oh,
no, you know about this?
No, with both of them?
Yeah.
There's a great movie about that. When I say great, I mean not great, but funny because it doesn't know it's not great, but it's still amusing.
Okay, what are you laughing
It's with
at?
Meryl Streep and Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay. And Martin Short is in this?
No. Steve Carell.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of it, and she has just had it.
Okay.
with this sexless, loveless, peck on the cheek, go to work.
I actually have to give Billy Corgan credit. He actually is on his best behavior. I guess he's been on the show once before, so maybe he knows how to deviate his own behavior to circumference Bill's holier-than-thou, smug prick attitude.
Will sleep in front of the Golf Channel marriage. So she sends him to this academy or something run by Steve Carell,
Okay.
where he's got to relearn how to fuck Meryl Streep. And it's just, I mean, it gets at this exact point. And he, of course, is not into the concept, but when she threatens to leave him, he does it. And part of it was she was learning how to fuck him again, because they had forgotten. And she's the funniest scene. I bet you she did it herself. Maybe it's in the script, but she's sitting there and she's reading the manual and it's telling her how to do it.
Apparently, Tommy Lee Jones is a nightmare to work with. Real prick. That's his reputation around Hollywoods.
With a banana, you know.
Okay.
And so she's like starting to just suck the banana and then absentmindedly starts eating the banana.
But in terms of the furious road that's coming down the line for the arts and AI, well, then I have a ton of opinions on those, but I don't want to bore you with those if it's not interesting to you.
It's very interesting to me. I'm in the arts.
So pick a lane.
I'm in the arts.
I know you are, but you can't be replaced, so you're good.
So far.
Oh, there it is. All right, now he's sucking up to him. Feels like he has to, because Bill did him a favor and gave him his connections to Howie Mandel, probably, to jumpstart his podcast that I make fun of all the time on the show.
That is true so far.
You're irreplaceable.
But you think you are?
I feel fine, but I'm also very transparent.
It is scary that they have come up with, like, I mean, I have an Elvis track that's not Elvis. It's AI Elvis.
Yeah.
That is a little frightening.
Oh, it's what I've been saying, because I get asked a lot about it in music interviews. It's my general thing is it's over. It's already over. The world you thought of music, just start with music, it's over. It's already over. You don't see it, but it's over.
Well, you're going to have to put some meat on that bone.
Okay. Yeah, put some fucking meat on that bone, because your newest record under Smashing Pumpkins moniker was Dog L was, how do I say this? It was some of the stinkiest garbage I've ever consumed in recent memory. Absolute F-tier shite. And a few of the albums before that are not too far off. Those apples are not too far off. They haven't fallen that far off from the other apple tree apples.
You're 15 years old, okay? When you were 15 years old, when I was 15 years old, it was the garage playing the Led Zeppelin into infinity to learn how to play something, right? Okay, that's over. If you're 15 years old now,
right.
Okay, that time you're using so you can watch more porn, if you can press a button, and that thing can write a song for you or tell you,
right.
Even if it gets you 87% down the road, and then you use your intuition and whatever talent you have to kind of finish it and say it's yours, it's over. It's over.
And that's where we are.
5 years from now, so we're in 2025 when we're doing this. 5 years from now, the music landscape will be completely devastated.
And yet your music sounds like overproduced crap, like the least human, the least soulful rock and roll. And that's on a performance and production level. I just want to point out that irony, because there's so much great fucking music out there that he has no idea about, because he's in his little echo chambery psychedelic bubble of LA rock.
On every level. Every level. Now, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. You will have a bifurcated society of people who do organic music, and they're literally going to say, I'm an organic musician, this is what I do, I'm not using all this technology. And there will be this other world that won't give a shit.
I mean, organic, it sounds like the next generation from acoustic.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like,
but people will be celebrated for being...
No, it's funny, because it really will be a recapitulation of Dylan Went Electric.
Like, what I'm trying to say is the most recent Smashing Pumpkins album literally sounds like an AI spat out a Smashing Pumpkins album. Like you typed in, give me a Smashing Pumpkins album made in the year 2023, and then it gave you an AI version of that, which you're impressed by. You're like, wow, this is really accurate, but it doesn't move you on any emotional level.
That's one reason why I thought that movie was so great, because they picked just that one moment, which I'm sure that eluded some people who were not around for it, or maybe it got to the smart ones who could put themselves in that moment. But I mean, even I was too young in 1965 to appreciate what was going on. But the idea that the old guard, the folk, because he did start in the folk world, were just, it just seems so quaint now, apoplectically appalled that Bob Dylan, the great hope of future folk music, the guy who was going to carry the banner of Woody Guthrie and those types, he went electric. And of course, the world was like, great, because that's a great record.
Yeah.
Like a Rolling Stone with the great organ and the electric guitar. And you're right, the audience, and by the way, the audience has no responsibility to give a shit. They just want to be entertained.
That's why I say it's over.
For 10 years now, it's been normalized to not even karaoke your own show with the backing tracks doing most of the heavy lifting. Even the lead vocals in the backing tracks, and you could be a huge mainstream rapper and just yell ad-libs, and that's good enough. And people don't know the difference. They want to be entertained.
Right.
Right.
And they're not going to give a shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Also, fuck, do you know how many kids on Instagram and TikTok are freaking shredders? It's so stupid. Do you know how many 10-year-olds are way better at drums than I am? And this phenomenon becomes more and more true as time progresses. I'm sure there's going to be like 3-year-olds in 10 years where you're like, how? But that's how society advances, and it does it at its own pace. And there are tons of young children and young adults out there who are unbelievable musicians, just on a technical level at their instruments.
Over.
And like, I'm that guy. I always say it. I'm just a young man in the 22nd row. You know, I'm just, because I have no musical ability, which is so liberating. So I can just like what I like and not like what I like, and not worry and not about, like, does it matter? Is it important music?
That's kind of what I'm saying. If there's an AI artist, or there's an artist you know who's using AI to advance their musical cause, you won't give a shit.
And what you're thinking is that they all are by now. They must be.
Even think I agree with his premise. I think a lot of people don't like AI slop, and that's borne out right now in how people respond to visual or musical art. And you know, young people have an eye for it. They could see it right away.
Because
from what I've heard, there's not a song coming out of Nashville right now that doesn't have AI involvement, particularly with lyrics.
I read in the paper yesterday, cartoon movies, you know, I guess they
How about editing? How about camera work? How about, I mean, every level of entertainment is going to be affected. You pay...
It already is.
Do I assume you pay comedy writers? Do you pay comedy writers?
Not personally, but my generous network does, yes.
Okay, good. So the point is
but society will balance it out. It's not like it's going to swing extreme one way and stay there. It'll find, maybe he's a little bit right, but I feel like he's being too extreme about it.
Whatever your budget is a year for comedy writers, let's say it's $100K. If you can go, well, I don't have to pay those guys anymore, or girls. There's $100K in Bill Maher's pocket. And by the way, I like the jokes better.
I mean, trust me, I've looked into it. No, I haven't, guys. But
he has.
They are definitely not there yet with comedy.
Okay. How about AI porn?
Because comedy is just so, like, part of it just can't be sussed out with logic. It just strikes you as funny, or as it doesn't. And sometimes the more off the wall it is.
Sure.
And AI isn't there yet.
Yeah.
With, like, being a... So I just can't imagine them writing the kind of jokes I do.
Okay, but you produce a television show. If you could save $500,000 a year using AI to do your editing, or to your sound, or
I mean, those are not my decisions. I mean,
no, but you know how the world works.
No, absolutely.
Bottom line.
No, they're going to do it. But the other thing AI can't do is that I...
So, look, let's take his logic to its nth conclusion. Fine, so these mainstream talk shows like Bill Maher, these mainstream movies that come out of, you know, places like Paramount and whatnot, fine, let's say they use AI. Don't you think there's going to be more independent creators, especially online, that move to online spaces? And those people are going to make more money, and people are going to celebrate those people on an independent level? There's always going to be fucking goon-ass mofos who are going to be like, they don't know the difference, and they're just going to, like, eat the slop, and that's but that's just like people, right? There's always going to be a certain amount of people that are going to be like that. However, there's going to be a lot of people who love the arts, who can delineate and make up their own minds, and they can discern between like, actually, I really don't like what's coming out of Hollywood. In other words, I feel like there is going to be a balanced striked at some point. And you can't replace the humanity, or I want to say it the other way around. You can't replace the creativity in the human spirit.
They could, this is going to sound catty, but they could do other shows because they're so predictable in their politics. And that's one of my issues with AI. It is programmed by the woke. And I know this because somebody once asked it.
What? Isn't Grok developed by Elon Musk? Isn't Sam Altman the CEO of OpenAI? What are you talking about?
What was my best stand-up special?
Fucking Peter Thiel? I mean, Sam Altman might be like a normcore. Everyone else, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, they're fucking Trump supporters.
And first of all, it shouldn't even be giving opinions, but it gave the wrong one, and I know why, because it was programmed by woke.
Sure.
So
Shut
it
the
picked
fuck
like one
up.
from 20 years ago that was
Programmed by woke?
woker, because 20 years ago the Democrats weren't funny. The liberals hadn't gone off the deep end on a lot of issues, and it was just Bush. And also, we were 10 years away from gay marriage, and a lot of the special, or at least the end of it, was about how we should have gay marriage.
Oh, okay.
So the AI thing was like, oh, this is the best, because, and it's not. It's
Right.
good. I mean, but it's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The one I did in December, way better. But AI can't do that. Just the way, like, why do I use the old iPod, the old one, the wheel one, Bill?
The one where Billy Joel is featured prominently.
Yeah. Among others. Why? Because like I like to put my playlist together in a way that like none of those services can do. Because they can only, if you say play songs like this, they just take it from the same era. I can play a song 40 years apart from another song.
I see.
And they have the exact same vibe, but they're from completely different eras. And Pandora can't do that.
Right.
So they've got a ways to go. Will they get there?
What about Spotify? Spotify's algorithm is pretty fucking good. Pandora is dog shit. I don't know, kind of strikes me as a boomer take.
I don't know. But look, we had a good run.
Yeah. We had fun.
I mean, didn't you just play a stadium with 80,000 people?
65.
Okay, well, it's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. And
Yeah,
you're,
no.
And you're going on.
I'm comfortable with all that, but because I have young children, 9, 6, and a baby. I mean, they're going to grow up in a world where AI is going to be pervasive on every level of creativity.
You just had a baby, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and thank God it looks like me.
And how many baby mamas do you have?
Only one.
Oh, wow.
Only one.
You call yourself a rock star?
In fact, as we're taping this today, my wife just turned 33.
What if AI allows us access to our innermost, deepest musical ideas that we have too much difficulty translating into the physical world once we start demoing it out? It's like, it's not the same. What if AI gave us the ability to Bluetooth our ideas to MIDI? In other words, AI doesn't equal evil tool. AI could be used for good or for evil, right?
So
so you're robbing the cradle too. Where you like you there like and Bill, you like young women. I mean, how old are you?
58.
How dare you? How dare you be? So how old was she when you got married?
We got married 2 years ago.
Oh,
so,
2 years ago.
Yeah, we had kids before we got married.
Oh.
I refused to get married, so I finally capitulated.
So you were with her when she was in her young 20s.
We met when she was 19, and I was
19
Mhm.
beats me. I at least wait till there's a
Bill,
2 in front of their name.
Bill,
You're both creepy.
you're a great you're a great orator, you're a great comedian, you're a great thought leader,
Oh,
but I'm a rock star, Bill.
Oh my
That's so
god.
true.
That's so cringe.
That is so true. I cannot fight that.
That is
You are so right about that.
You're both so cringe.
You are a rock star, and you deserve those extra
Ew, that is so
for
cringe.
2 years. That's awesome.
But God bless her, because I don't know what the hell she saw in me. I mean,
Oh, shut up.
there's odds.
Shut the fuck up. She's 19. You were a famous rich rock star. You have all the power. Don't play dumb.
Obvious things, but
Oh, boy. You know
irritating.
what? Stop with the false modesty. I hate when guys do that. I'm so lucky. You should shut the fuck up. You know what? You're a rock star. You're really funny. You seem like a great guy. I mean, you got money. I mean,
Come on, yeah.
I'm not feeling bad for her that she has to put up with Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins.
She's done all right.
She's done all right. Yeah, but she and a baby. That's got to be. Is that?
It's a feral baby, Bill. Though.
Feral.
Feral, sorry.
Not feral.
Feral. Well, there was that singer, Feral Sharky, right? So I'm confusing Feral Sharky and Feral Baby.
Do you remember the song, I Might Like You Better If We Slept Together?
I covered it. At Dodger Stadium, opening for Kiss, Halloween night, 1998.
Is that why I remember that?
Maybe.
It may be, because the record itself...
Great record.
Susie and the Banshees?
No, it was Romeo Void.
Oh,
they
I
had
like
two
Romeo
hits.
Void.
I Might Like You Better If We Slept Together and A Girl in Trouble.
Romeo Void's got some bangers. Go check out that band. They got 4 or 5 fucking bangers. Great 80s psychedelic new wave band.
On my rock.
I'm not good.
Great band. Great band. I think from Southern California, actually.
Wow. I Might Like You Better If We Slept Together.
What a great song.
What a great title.
Yeah.
You know, like, title's a big thing with a record, right? You gotta...
Some people are big on titles.
Like I say, title's not...
Some people they say they can't write like an Irving Berlin type writer. They would want the title first.
I'm so not like that.
If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, you know what I mean?
Titles last.
Right?
Like quite an example.
Well, we're going back to Eddie Cantor there.
I was going to say.
No, but I'm saying is that's how those guys wrote. It was like that the title had to sell the song, and then they would write the song. I'm not a title guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
neither.
I think bands throughout the ages have liked titles, but I
wrote Bullet with Butterfly Wings. I mean,
that's a great title.
I think I stole it from Freud, actually.
I remember in the Eagles documentary, Glenn Frey was like, I was riding with some guy in a car. We were on coke.
I think I stole it from Freud. You know you stole it from Freud. I don't think that's not something you think.
Okay.
That's a good title. I mean, but you want to listen to the song.
But it was almost like, I have nothing but that, but I'm already like 3/4 of the way through with this song.
How about Desperado? How about Hotel California? I mean, what great titles.
Yeah, but...
Are you an Eagles fan?
Very much so, but I don't feel like they get you as much as Life in the Fast Lane. I mean, what's Hotel California? It could be about anything. We love it because we know the song. Desperado, yeah, that's pretty good.
I think Hotel California is one of the great lyrics of all time.
Oh, the lyrics, yeah.
I mean,
what about one of the great guitar solos of all time? And what about one of the great guitar? Maybe it's not is it a riff? No, it's more than a riff. Guitar part, main guitar part and lead guitar. Don Felder. Credit to not the main Don, not the most important Don Henley. He's the second most important Don in the Eagles, which are now called Eagles because Don Felder took them to court. So they are no longer the Eagles; they are Eagles.
And Don has been asked about it 1,000 times, and he always says, first of all, he's tired of being asked about it.
First of all, you haven't even said which Don, which is rude to Don Felder, because we know that he's talking about Don Henley, but it's Don Felder's guitar part first. Then Donald Henley played the drums and came up with the lyrics and such. Then the lead guitar is Don Felder doing a double lead with Joe Walsh.
It's just about a journey from innocence to experience. Why does that piss you off so much?
No, because I'm empathetic because I know what it's like to be asked about something over and over again, but I don't buy the answer is kind of what I'm saying.
What do you think it's about?
I think it's about L.A. I mean, I think I think it's the greatest. I call it dark L.A.
Yes.
Right, dark. It is the greatest dark L.A. song of all time.
You're right.
Like I might like you better if we slept together. You could say that's a dark L.A. song.
No, L.A. is dark. California is dark.
LA would be heaven, so it's hellish heaven because it's hot. LA is hellish heaven, and New York is heavenly hell. That's correct.
Great writer, I forget, may have been Dashiell Hammett said, LA, it's a sunny place for shady people. And
well, Chandler, I mean,
Raymond Chandler.
He encapsulated the darkness of this place. Or even, what's that book? Day of the Locust.
Yes.
Have you ever read that book?
Yes.
I mean, you want to talk about dark L.A.
And
that book was written in like 1939.
Well, I think if you asked the average person...
What about the band The Locust?
Like, where do you think, the noir movies take place? Or like that milieu? they would think, oh, that's a New York thing. No,
it's L.A.
No, it's San Francisco.
Right down the street.
It's San Francisco, Sam Spade.
Yeah.
It's L.A. It's always out here.
Yeah.
Chinatown.
Yeah.
All of them. It's.
All of
we're
them?
shady, messy people out here.
Yeah.
Wait. China. He goes Chinatown. All of them. Like all of the areas of L.A. Like, is that what he means? Like Little Armenia, Little Ethiopia, like that? It's a weird turn of phrase.
Can I tell you about my first LA trip as an adult? Do you mind if I tell you?
Please.
So I came out here as a kid.
Meth
we went to
with
Disney and all
father.
that stuff. But when I came the first time as an adult, I was about 21 or so, and I came out with a friend, and we ended up staying with the friend's sister. And we're off Hollywood Boulevard, and it's all it's right out of the movies. I'm walking and looking at the stars on the thing, and I have that impression a lot of people have, which is that is that all there is? It's more built up here as a tourist industry, but back in the 80s, it was there wasn't much to see. You know what I mean? You had the stars on the Hollywood Boulevard, to quote Ray Davies. And
I have one.
You do?
Of
Congratulations.
course. Thanks.
All right.
Are you proud of it? Or?
Of course not. It's ridiculous. You can buy one.
That's true.
I mean, I think you could. I mean, not.
He's playing it both ways, and don't pretend you're not. You love that you have a star. You fucking on some egotistical level love.
Like, yes, you see a lot of the biggest stars in the world, and then you come across names you just don't even know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I happen to be near Clark Gable, so I'm near.
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad. But everybody's near somebody, and then there's like, Biff Cumstein. You're like, who the
Biff
fuck was this
Biff
guy?
Cumstein.
That's
Well, whatever. I don't know.
He was a cameraman for.
That's
for
genuinely
Cecil B.
funny.
DeMille.
He crossed in a brown sport coat in some movie in the 30s. I don't know. It just, it is what it is. But yes, I was happy to go. It was 2010. I remember the ceremony, and Larry King and Seth showed up, and lots of my friends, and, they give a speech.
I think it's cool.
It's cool. It's, I love Hollywood. I love all the bullshit.
Right.
I love.
He just admitted it. He just said, I love all the bullshit. 1 minute later, you're like, I couldn't care less. And then he's like, actually, I love all the bullshit. Exactly.
I always say I'm in show business, but I'm not of it. Because I'm not really like them, and I'm not really in any category. But like when I go to the Vanity Fair Oscar party, to me, that's like going to Disneyland. To stand in the middle of a room, and everywhere you look is a star. Because the stars in this town, they do not come out at night. I don't know what people think.
To be fair, a lot of them do work.
Yeah, they go to restaurants.
Exactly. It's a working town, and movies
always has been.
Has been, and movies start at 6 a.m.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, do you have your like kind of groupie contingent?
I don't investigate this, but somebody showed me on one of the dating sites. There is a category you can and your interest, Bill Maher, and there was a lot of people.
Like Daddy Bill or?
No, just Bill Maher.
His content.
And I thought that was flattering, but I'm not.
Because I'm getting some of that now that I'm in my 50s.
Yeah.
My social media person will show me, and it's like they start calling me like Daddy Billy.
Oh.
I wish that Billy was my daddy, but not like that daddy.
That's more like a zaddy.
Well, I don't know what zaddy is.
Zaddy's a guy who's like a daddy figure, but also sexy. It's
Okay.
like a zaddy.
I was named People Magazine's sexiest man at 50. Like they picked everyone from a certain age, so I got 56.
Friend of mine who's around your age or my age, somewhere in between, like he said to me recently, I won't say what field he's in, but show business, and he said, this girl came up to me and said, "You're so iconic," and he said, "Can you believe it? I'm getting iconic pussy now."
Oh.
And yes, that's what you would get.
Yeah. Well, I'm married.
But you're happily married.
I'm very happily married.
Very happy.
I'm happy to say I'm happily married.
Yeah.
That iconic joke did not land
childhood,
with William
so that
Corgan.
Was never gonna be tied down anyway. It just wasn't my nature. And part of that, is again, rock star. You're probably so inundated that you get it all out of your system quicker.
I think if you're over the age of 60, you're not allowed to say the word pussy anymore. I think it's pretty reasonable. When Bill Maher says the word pussy, it's like, ugh, gives you the icky, right? When he talks about like iconic pussy, right? You're old enough to get icon. It's like, ugh, all right, grandpa, it's enough already.
That's true. And it got to the point where the bloom went off the rose of what free.
It got to the point where he just had to find a 19-year-old when he was 40, whatever. 5-ish. I mean, that's the truth, right?
What I thought freedom was. Freedom to me was
finding a 19-year-old to marry, who, by the way, I believe worked for him under his leadership as the CEO of, I think, WWE. Is that right? And she was a wrestler.
do what you want when you want to do it,
Right.
and as long as you're having a good time and everybody's
Right.
you know, it's all adults and
Sure.
everybody's cool. And I lived like that for a while, and I woke up one day and I was like, this is boring. And I never,
Well-
and to be fair to anybody, and I'm not bragging, there's no brag in this.
Well,
I got to the point where it's like, this isn't really what I'm after.
Right.
Well, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I disagree on the.
There is a subtle brag. You're saying, like, I fucked mad amounts of women.
Boring. It never gets boring. What you hit on there, which I think.
Bill, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Okay. Because I'm going to agree with you on this one point.
Okay.
Okay. I was with this girl,
And a circus animal.
How about we refer to her as a woman?
just a girl,
Okay.
just a girl. And we're in flagrante,
Let's not infantilize this young lady. You know what I'm saying?
in bed.
Uh-huh.
And she says to me, can you lick my back?
Oh my God, that's what are we doing?
Sure, as one does.
And I said, and she was pretty hot. So I was like, okay, if that's what you want.
I've done it without asking.
Okay.
I love how he starts this with "I'm not bragging" and then like is bragging for sure.
and
this is bragging.
and it was like one of those, like, you know, when somebody asks you to scratch it back, it's like, no, a little more up to the right and to the left. And in this one spot in her back, she could orgasm from having her back licked in this one spot.
Do you have her number?
Actually, I do. And the way she explained it to me, and God bless if she ever hears this, she's a very nice person. The way she explained it to me is that, but apparently, like, certain nerves get rerouted.
I'm sure.
So it's how some people can orgasm by, say, having their nipple licked. Sometimes that nerve reroutes to a different spot in the body. So in her case, the nerve was in her back.
You're basically saying, unless I'm getting
Yeah.
it wrong, that you weren't able to appreciate, your massive career success before you had the love. And I get that the love is you could then find the love and be like, oh, and this is even better.
No,
But why? I don't know why you couldn't access the satisfaction from the career before you.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why.
Okay.
I had $1 million by the time I was 24 years old. Okay. A year before that, I was making $12,000 a year working at a record store, and I was broke. Okay. So I'm we grew up in a time where millionaire, these days, millionaire doesn't mean as much, but the word millionaire still meant something in my brain when I was 24 years old. So I have $1 million when I'm 24 years old. By the time I'm 26, I'm MTV, Platinum Records,
Right.
Saturday Night Live, cover Rolling Stone. I mean, I basically did, by my mid-20s, like, most of the checklist.
All the boxes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I never felt this sense of satisfaction about it. And I couldn't quite understand why, because everybody around me is like, this is fucking incredible. And I was like, it is and it isn't. The problem with all of it is it's transactional. Because no matter how many hit songs you write, it's always, what about the next one?
Yeah.
No matter how many records.
Yeah, sure. That was the way that traditional record companies ran stuff in the early 90s. Fine, sure. Okay. But you're entering a business partnership or relationship with a record label and with management and blah, blah, blah. Those are all transactions. I mean, most business dealings are transactional. If you think about it, most grown adults, when they go out and do things, they do so because it benefits them or it benefits them and the other party. It's a win-win, or even better, a triple win. People often, I should say, are chasing situations will benefit them. And that's the way we're wired.
You're sold. There's always somebody who's going to sell more records than you. No matter how good you are, there's always somebody telling you, writing online, that you're the worst thing that ever happened.
Okay, that's the business. Welcome to being a rock star? It's just whiny at this point.
There was always like a asterisk or a qualifier. And even my band at times was transactional with me. I mean, I would write these massive songs, and they were kind of like,
such a victim. Boo fucking who?
They didn't give a shit.
Jesus, this guy is just an absolute full-blown narcissist.
It was weird.
Why?
Well, that gets into band psychology, and we could talk about it if you want, but just to finish the little spiel.
Yeah, the transaction is you're using their time, their physical labor to play the parts you wrote, other than Jimmy on drums, right? And then they get, in return some notoriety, some publicity, opportunities, and money. What's there to not understand about that? What's like, oh, he's talking about it like he's a victim of this system that's always existed. And it's almost like it's the invisible hand, as Adam Smith, the economist, often is known for. Right? These forces exist whether or not we want them to or not. But because we happen to have a music industry, that's what it do, brother.
Only unconditional love in some facet of your life gives you the proper perspective to appreciate what is great about transactional things, but allows you to see them for what they are, which is transactional. There's no Valhalla at the top of Rock Mountain. There isn't. And I've been there.
Oh my God. Did he happen to say that because of the Kash Patel Charlie Kirk thing? Because Kash Patel said that about Charlie Kirk? Is that why he's repeating that phrase? Either way, cringe, don't like it. And he's wrong. And he's wrong because he has a personality disorder that gets in the way of his ability to feel how amazing it is to like give joy to 20,000 people in an audience because of your music, right? Like to be able to appreciate that. By the way, that's a fucking transaction. Like, come on, man.
Times.
Right.
So when I stand in front of 65,000 people, in my hierarchical mind, my family is still above that.
Right. Sure.
I tell my kids all the time, and they're still little kids, and hopefully it'll endure in their brain. I tell them, because they'll come see me play.
Oh God, he's trying to virtue signal, but in doing so, he's bragging, and he's just so gross.
Come on stage with me. I mean,
yeah.
We pulled up to where the Mets play in New York, and my daughter goes, "How many people am I going to dance in front of today?" And I said, "Well, 41,000." She goes, "Okay." And then an hour later, she's on stage with me dancing in front of 40,000 people. They're having these immense peak experiences. But I tell them over and over again, no matter what you see Daddy do, no matter what you hear about Daddy, good or bad, you're more important than that.
Oh, you're such a good dad. Fuck off. Shut up.
So much more important that to me.
It's all about his ego. Everything.
I would trade all of this for you. Only unconditional love sort of clarifies what's great and not great about it. And if all you have, and because I came from nothing, it was about, am I on MTV? And if I'm not...
Okay. Oh my God. This is so painful. Okay, first of all, yes, you have to have a bunch of conditional transactions to get to the point where you experience, however you want to explain this phenomenon. You feel euphoria. You feeling this like love connection, right? That's the power of live music. That's the power of making an amazing studio album that people resonate with on a macro level, on a large scale, right? He's skipping over all of that.
I was devastated because I must be doing something wrong.
Well, I get all that because it's ephemeral. Stardom, like beauty, like a lot of things.
You started talking, we started talking, within the context of the political thing. I mean, you were somebody who stood up for decades and talked about free speech and free thinking.
Still do.
And a political part of this country, because you're not willing to march in lockstep, suddenly all the things that you've contributed, suddenly it's out the door.
See how he's trying to get Bill Maher on his own narcissistic victim train? And Bill Maher is considering it. He's like, I'm on the fence. Say more.
You've been doing, how many years have you been standing up there in the political maw?
Yeah. 32.
Okay.
In the trenches, yeah.
So
Fighting
the world
fight.
we grew up in, that should mean something.
Oh,
like,
God.
well, I'm mad at Bill Maher today, but it has some perspective.
And
now we live in you're either swinging from a rope or you're Chairman Mao.
But yes, but there are still lots of people who appreciate it.
Well, I'm with them.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and that's who I do it for.
Okay.
And you're right. There are others who went for the exits when you don't fully just go for the team.
And
that
really
is,
look
first
great
of
for
all,
head.
it's not helpful. It's not going to elect the right people, and it's worst of all boring.
It is boring.
It's boring to be predictable. It's what my friend calls "let me guess" politics.
By the way, the conversation is totally pivoted to a totally different subject, as if it's the same subject, right? They're now talking about
boring to be predictable.
Right, it's boring to be predictable. That's not the same thing as everything in the music industry is transactional. It's like, well, I mean, even to a certain degree, you could argue mating is transactional. Your relationship with your wife, your relationship with your children. You can't have a relationship without there being a certain level of a transactional nature or event happening between the two of you, right? Whether or not it's like, oh, 13, I don't fucking know, 13% of the time it's transactional, and the other 80% of the time it's like somehow, I don't know even, you see what I'm saying? It's just like he's making transactionality a binary, which it's not.
It's what my friend calls
That's
let
annoying
me
to me.
guess politics. Something happens and let me guess.
And then Bill Maher, this conversation's a mess.
You know, it's like
Bill Maher just did the lip smack thing he does, which he does to signal authority, like bitcha, like what's the hair flip, right? This emoji.
there's a shooting. Like right before they even check anything, they know who did it. They know whose side the person was on. Let me guess. Or Trump does something. Let me guess. You know, it's boring and it's not sophisticated.
They are so pompous and they are so up their own shitholes and they're so unaware that is actually objectively the case because they're so overtaken by their own egos and their sociopathies.
It's just not sophisticated.
Well, that's why I took myself out of the political discourse because I couldn't. You know, I've had a very unique life, and it's not everybody agrees, but the point is I've had a unique perspective. I've been in the White House. I've met smart people like you. I've been behind the Wizard's curtain 500 times. I have a very unique perspective on.
It's all brag, 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 victim, 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 brag, 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 virtue, virtue, brag, brag, victim. Like that's Billy Corgan.
The way the world works. It's not for everybody, but you can't say I don't have.
Which is probably why his music fucking sucks, because he let his ego take the wheel, and that doesn't produce good music over the long run.
Unique perspective. Not many people have climbed up that particular.
You got to channel, baby. You got to be a fucking rod to God
for that length of time. And when you can't have a nuanced, intelligent discussion that's not even trying to make a point.
Now they're having discussions about having discussions. That's where we are now. Guys, this conversation has imploded into nothingness of white, I hate to say it, but white male privilege bullshit.
It's getting a little chippy. It's getting a little chippy out there.
Let's hope from this moment that there's no more of that.
If I were you,
these two are unbearable.
I would stay out of it.
Oh, I know I do.
You're in front of 65,000 people. That's not a security.
No, I leave it to.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, and I don't, because at one point I wondered if I was compromised, meaning like, should I be saying certain things when
Billy Corgan would go on InfoWars 10 years ago. He was such a white male victim that he was flirting with Alex Jones style libertarianism and God and Jesus and stuff. That's what he's leaving out, but that's what he's implying.
Feel, like a day like today. It's like, should I say something or not? Just let me finish. No, but
shut up, Billy Corgan. It's my show.
Because
I did favor. I'm Bill Maher.
Make sure I'm clear because I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. My best contribution is art.
Yes.
You're a person who lives in the political firestorm weekly.
It's my job.
You chose that.
Yes.
And
correct.
You're great at it. And you talk to people behind the scenes. You have very illuminated people on from every walk of the political stripe. Okay. So I'm more of a leave it to the people who are in the fight. And I use that word loosely because obviously
I want you to, because first of all, you're an eloquent elliptical lyricist.
Did I hear that right? Did he just fucking say elliptical?
You're an eloquent elliptical lyricist. Let that speak for it.
This motherfucker's saying elliptical?
Yes. You don't need to give them a reason when you're in front of a crowd like
I also came to the conclusion that I'm never going to exactly say what I want to say not in a song. Like my gift is to say it in a song.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So if I really want to contribute, then write Imagine or
Empires. It's a ugly song. Empires.
With butterfly wings. That's my contribution.
You were talking about unconditional love.
Sure.
And kids, I can kind of get that. Because, what's the worst thing a kid can do? Mm-hmm. They're feral, but, they're not, really capable of, murder or anything. But you think...
Billy, taking the bottle out, I was thinking about whether or not he was going to just drink right from the bottle, but he's a sophisticated tea cat. He has his own tea shop in Chicago, Madame Zusu's, I think it's called.
You're gonna have that with a human?
Yes.
Because like unconditional, so like if you killed somebody, she'd stay with you. Is that what? Because like I feel like with adult humans, it's a kind of a tough argument to make unconditional because you can think of things someone would do where you kind of would want the other person.
Okay, can I answer that? No, but let's see. No.
Why I brought it up?
No, but I want to because I feel like I got what you're asking. I think to ask another human being to live up to
what a smarmy fuck
a standard
Bill
of
Maher
perfection. You know, when we say unconditional and you bring up like a thing, like, okay, well, if you murdered somebody, is she going to stand next to you? You know, that type of thing. I think the one thing I would say is you're right to point that out. And if you're going to ask me, is there anybody on this planet that I trust 100% that aren't my children? The answer is no. Now, I trust my wife more than most.
Right.
Like, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's...
And do you know why that's the case? The reason for that is because most interactions are transactional.
very, very high. And I've made that commitment. But the thing I would try to explain to you is once you have children, it's the highest bond you can have with another human being.
I get it.
So that's the closest I've ever come. And
Right.
and if you want to sort of give kind of standard to it, I didn't have it with my father. I didn't have it with my mother. I didn't have it with my stepmother. I didn't have it with my immediate family. I have a very good relationship with my brother, and I trust my brother a lot. So outside of my brother, and his kids, and his wife, and my wife, and our kids, it is all transactional on some level. And I've had the experience, however horrible it is, where I was a kid, ignored by members of my family. I got successful. Suddenly everybody was really interested in what I had to say. And then when my career went down, they all disappeared again. That's a tough one if you've lived it. So this is the closest I've ever come. And I'm not a person who's waiting around for perfection.
I like how he needs to be celebrated for saying out loud that he loves his kids more than his rock star powers and fame and money. It's like, well, yeah, obviously.
My own father told me I couldn't fucking sing, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who would agree with him. But, 30 million records later and 3,000 concerts later, I guess I do something, right?
Right.
So I had to navigate all that. And it's ultimately I think life is ultimately about faith. And in that, and I know you're not a religious person, that's
agree.
where I think you could at least...
I actually agree with Billy on this specific point.
Last story. Last story. I know you got to go work. Last story. I was working with the famous producer. He's just recently passed away. Great guy. Roy Thomas Baker. Produced all the famous Queen stuff. Roy
I'm so sorry. Then you have to go work. Isn't Bill Maher loaded on booze and high as balls as I am right now? Go to work on a show? Huh?
Very Ponzi, very English. And he at some point bought a castle. And we were fascinated, the band, like, tell us all about the castle. He goes, oh, it was all right, owning a castle. And he said it was drafty. You think you get a castle, but then you find out you got to get the power and there's no AC and, right?
The moat is down.
But okay, right. So we're like, okay. And he goes, but that's not the worst part. So what's the worst part? He goes, I had to buy the whole village that went with the castle. And we said, why did you have to buy a village? He goes, well, who the fuck's going to work on the castle?
Right.
So we had to buy the village of the people who'd been living in the village for generations because only they knew how to take care of the castle. That part he didn't like.
People here have bought villages. I think I may be remembering this wrong. Forgive me.
I just can't. I can't. I gotta have some smoothies. I gotta go to Smoothieton. Fucking unbearable. All right. Peace, y'all.